Hey guys, welcome to the new unveiling and unboxing of the Summer 2020 PS Collection Drop 1. Here we will look at the 4 new colours that PS of Sweden will release this summer in 2020, and I get to show you them all in real life and give you my opinions and everything on them, so look forward to it. So here we have the first colour from Drop 1 of the PS of Sweden collection Summer 2020, and I'm actually very impressed already with the colour. This is their first teaser colour that they offered, so everybody could get excited on social media, because most people absolutely know that PS of Sweden nail their collections every single time, and I think everyone gets so full of anticipation, ready to see what they've released and what novelties they released for the season. And so when they released this, I think most people were like, oh, it's so beautiful, but it's so similar to what we've had before. And PS of Sweden easily combated that by releasing a picture of this compared to the other greens that they released in their collection. So, and it shows completely how different this colour is. So I present to you Sage. This is the Sage colour from PS of Sweden, as you can see here in real life, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm a lover and fan of green anyway, but this is this has a slight different tone to it. This kind of gives me that very pastel-y sort of underwatery feel of green. I'm not quite sure why. It's not deep in any sense of the word, and you can kind of tell it's been mixed with a little bit of grey in it, which gives it that little subtleness. The satin material of the PS of Sweden pads really actually accentuates the colour really well. They've added a silver binding and piping around the edges of the pads, which sets it off, meaning that you could easily combine this with silver accessories or white accessories. But they've also added in the twist braid on the piping, they've added a slightly deeper, richer green, which sets off the Sage. It doesn't clash or anything with it. So they've really done well with their colour choices. For those of you that are unaware of the PS of Sweden branding and how they work, with their pads, they offer a quote on the spine of the pad, which kind of gives you a good representation of how they feel about a specific colour, and also as motivation for each rider. Especially if you're collecting the pads, you get to see them all lined up, so you can pick the pad that most suits your day or how you feel that day as you're about to go for a nice lovely ride or train or have a lesson or clinic or something. So with the Sage colour, the quote is actually "I can!" exclamation mark. So they've really tried to kind of enforce a power of this colour, a good feeling with this colour. So if you're feeling a little bit nervous about perhaps practicing for a test or going for a clinic or having a lesson, and you're about to do something that you've not 100% sure you've nailed, or you're a little bit nervous about, then this is definitely the pad you need to wear that day, because you actually can. So there's a little bit of motivation for you. We have here the Sage brushing boots, which match the dressage pad. The Velcro is nice and strong, as you can see, so definitely no issues there. Again, it has the smaller PS of Sweden emblem on there, like it does with their fly veils, if you've known them before. And they've got the larger one on the pad as well, which is nice and heavy. They've added a plastic film over the emblems. They do constantly to protect them, obviously during transport and everything, and it has actually become quite a thing to reveal the tab off, to peel it off like you would your mobile phones when you first get one, or when you first upgrade or whatever. And I'm not going to do it as much as I really want to do it, because it's become a thing, and I would like to leave that for the new owner of whoever buys the pads, so I'm not going to spoil them of that moment. You could easily combine this with silver, and I actually probably would add a little bling with it. It's a subtle enough colour that you could add a nice rich silver or white It would easily go with black as well if you wanted to put it with black, but I would try and stick to the colours that they've included in the binding, as they've offered you so many there already. I don't think you really want to sway away from that if you want to try and keep the matchy look. The colour horses, I would probably put this on. It will look good on a white, and it's going to look good on a chestnut. To be fair, I think this is going to be one of the colours again, like that we've seen before in other collections. I think this is going to be one of the colours that you can easily put on pretty much any colour horse. So it's not one to stay away from if you're feeling a little bit less daring. So those of you who like to keep your wardrobes subtle, drop one, actually all of it will probably suit you, but you'll see that in the later colours. But this definitely if you want to try and keep to the subtlety but not sticking to your everyday blues and blacks, this is definitely a good colour to start with. So I'm really happy with the first colour of drop one being sage, and actually you can, so enjoy. Here we have the second colour of drop one. This colour actually I believe they released in their winter collection 2019 as well, because I remember seeing it before along with the jade. This is wine. Now this colour, I have to be honest, when I was looking at Pierce of Sweden's collection, I have to be honest, this colour caught my eye straight away. I believe that the equestrian market is a little bit short on the sort of burgundies, reds and deep purple colours. There seems to be that little bit of a gap where it's almost like unexplored territory. And when I saw this, I kind of thought, yeah, okay, you've kind of hit the nail on the head with where I wanted to go with the wine, because it's an easy colour for those who aren't quite as daring with their equestrian wardrobe, but kind of want to feel like they're also adding more than your blacks and blues. So I thought wine was a really safe colour for those who were just starting to get a little bit adventurous with their horseware. So that is your dressage, and I'll just quickly do the GP. Now, with the GP, we have the ear bonnet as well, or fly veil, or fly net, or fly bonnet, or however you want to call it, ear net, ear veil, for the GP. But I'll leave that there because we'll talk about the wine for the dressage. As I said before, in the sage, they add a quote on the spine of every pad, and the quote for wine, which is obviously, which I didn't explain before, but is unique to each colour that they produce. So sage has its own, wine has its own, and the other two colours, which I haven't revealed yet, also have their own quote. In the case of wine, which I think is very, very appropriate, is Commander-in-Chief. It's certainly very appropriate for me, which is probably why I was attracted to the colour in the first place. With wine, I would actually say it's exactly what the colour says. It is a very rich, very sweet wine colour. I can just imagine a Friday night opening a bottle and indulging in this. So it's very true to what it says. It comes with a gold binding this time, with a twisted wine gold and white or silvery white piping around there, as well as the gold. And the bordering is a dark brown, meaning that you could really easily pair this with some dark brown boots. I know, for example, HKM have dark brown boots, which you could easily pair with this. Or, of course, you can go with the matching bandages or boots. I'm not 100% sure if there are boots for the wine for Pierce of Sweden's, but I know there are bandages. So you could pair them easily with the bandages, which I don't have here, I'm afraid. Hopefully we'll have some coming if I can put my order in time. You've also got their classic seal there on the corner, if you can see. This is in gold actually this time, so I'm not going to peel that off. I'm going to let the lucky owner do that as well, even though I really, really want to. Yeah, you could easily pair this with at least 3 colours, and you've got a completely combo outfit ready for you to go. And the same, to be fair, with the GP. You've got the brown based ear bonnet this time, so it matches the bordering rather than the base colour of the wine itself, but you have the wine on the bordering here. So again, you could also pair the ear bonnet with other colours from Pierce of Sweden or other brands as well. They've got the gold emblem in the middle this time. Some of the other ones with the other colours, it's silver, depending on the hue, or depending on the colour that they've paired the emblem with. And again, you've also got the Commander-in-Chief on the spine. I'm really happy with the combo ear net and the GP pad, purely and simply because I kind of feel it gives you a break. I think if the base would have been wine as well and the bordering the same as the pad, I think it would have been a little bit too much. So it really gives a beautiful but obviously matching break with that. Colours that it would suit, to be fair, white it would suit anyway. You really would do well with a bay in this colour, especially if you did have a red bay. Actually, it would really pull the colour out of the horse. And because you've got the brown here, you will match the undertone of a bay as well. It would also look fantastic on a chestnut. I actually think this is one of the colours that will suit almost any horse it touches, whether it be grey, black, bay, chestnut, dun, buckskin. Yeah, I think this is your perfect all-rounder and your starter colour for those who want to feel a little bit more adventurous with their wardrobe. So there I have it. There's the wine. Here we have colour 3 from drop 1 of Pearson Sweden collection, and I was really surprised when this turned up at our doorstep. Actually, obviously I knew that it was coming, but they had just released the Pro collection, or a few weeks before they just released the Pro collection, which included the grey pad in it. And I got to be honest, I fell in love with that grey pad from the Pro collection. It had a beautiful white binding to it, or white bordering. And it was just the most soft and beautiful grey that I'd ever seen. I thought nothing can top that grey. That grey for me was the most perfect grey, especially with the beautiful pictures that Pearson Sweden take and are known for. And then this turned up and I was like, I take all of that back. This is the most beautiful grey that I've actually ever seen. They really nailed it with this colour. And I never thought this one would be my favourite from this collection, but I actually think it is one of my favourites from drop 1. So we have a really deep sort of, but I say deep in the sense of the colour is rich and deep, but it's actually a very soft grey. You think of the other greys that you've got, graphite grey and steel grey, and this isn't anything like that because you really notice the creamy colour in the grey, but it's still a really obvious grey. And I don't want to keep saying grey because that word will wind me up otherwise. But yeah, and they've paired it with a silver piping. The twist binding or twist piping here, I'm not sure if you can see, is slightly darker than the base of the pad, but actually absolutely beautiful and really sets that colour off. And I tell you what, this colour looks fantastic in any light you put it in. You cannot photograph this colour badly at all. It's just naturally beautiful. You've got white binding across, or white bordering across the rest of the pad, which again just sets that colour off and really makes it stand out. The same again for the GP version. It's absolutely no different. With the ear bonnet as well, they've actually, not like they done with the wine, with the ear bonnet they've completely matched the base colours and the bordering colours and the piping. So their base colour is the grey like the pad, and the bordering is the white. It's that really sort of soft poly cotton mix, or polyester and cotton mix, which I think is the same throughout the pad, so it's dead easy to wash and it's super soft. So no worries there if you're worried about the little white binding. Honestly, any colours just sort of rub out on it, so it's not one of the colours you need to worry about. Plus also the white will actually really help when the horse, it will tell you easily when the pad is dirty, so you can just bung it in the washing machine. And there is washing instructions for the pad on my website under the pad, or I think you can find them also on the Pearson Sweden website. In this case, the emblems and the beautiful logo there is in silver, not in gold like it was in the white, because obviously in the wine, sorry, because in the wine you obviously had the gold edging and everything, the gold piping and everything, so they've set that off with the gold emblem. But in this case, because it's silver, you've got the silver emblem and the silver piping. You've got the shorter emblem here on the fly veil so that it's not taking up too much unnecessary room, and it also gives it a more simplistic design, as well as you've got the long one on the pad because it's, you know, it can take more room. As we've mentioned before, the spine of each PS of Sweden pad comes with its own quote to represent the colour and to, you know, give motivation to the riders, or in this case a little bit of sass actually, and I really think it's quite appropriate for the colour. And this time you've got chill pill. Personally think this colour would really look striking on a white or a black. I mean, I know they are the lucky colours anyway, people with white and black horses. I am one of them, fortunately. Well, I like grey, but I'll kid myself and say it's white. I think that I think you both will benefit so much from this colour. It will really stand out on those because grey is the mix between the white and black. It's going to look fantastic on both those colours. But I actually also think this would look stunning on a chestnut. I really would like to see this on a chestnut, and even possibly a chestnut with some flaxen, or possibly even with a lot of white points, like a white blaze or white points on the legs or something, because I actually think that would look super stunning. So if any of you have got any pictures of those horses that I've mentioned, then please do send them to me. I think this pad really needs to be reserved for competitions. Don't get me wrong, yes, use it in training and wow everybody at your stable yard, but this needs to be seen by your fans and your friends and everything whilst you're going around a jumping ring. Definitely need to use that on a dressage yard, or keep it for at least special occasions on dressage clinics or something, because that needs to be seen by a lot of people. It's absolutely stunning, and it is really one of my favourites. So take a chill pill and enjoy charcoal. And here we have finally number 4 from the Drop 1 collection, from the Drop 1 of the PS of Sweden collection. And this is by far, as much as I absolutely adore the charcoal there, and as you can see even there it looks fantastic, as much as I adore the charcoal, this colour hit me, and it hit me straight away. Browns have been done a lot in the equestrian community. It was one of the first colours that was produced. You've now got obviously loads of different shades of brown tack. You've got brown boots, brown bandages, everything, but you were missing the hues in the brown. You had your lighter browns, you had your darker browns, but you didn't have anything so rich. You were missing something with the browns. And again, credit to PS of Sweden, they absolutely nailed it with this case. This is Walnut, and Walnut again does exactly what it says. It is a rich, almost like you've mixed Nutella with milk or cream or marshmallows even. It's got that beautiful, rich, deep, walnutty colour that really makes you just want to eat it, and it makes me absolutely starving as soon as I see it, and I love it. They've paired it this time, or I say this time, I don't think they've ever done a colour like this before, but they've paired it with a white and silver bordering. So your logos and emblems on the pads are going to be silver, and I actually really like it with the silver. I think it would have been too much with the gold. It would have been, I actually think it could have been a little bit tacky if they'd have done it with gold, but they've really done well with the silver. They've done similar to what they've done with the charcoal, where they've kept the base colours of the ear bonnets exactly the same as they have the pads. They haven't changed it, so all the binding and the bordering and the piping is exactly the same. The quote on the on the walnut is one of my favourites actually, because this one is a really sentimental quote, and it is, "The future is yet to come." Yeah, it is. I think it's just to help every rider believe that even though if maybe today you've had a bad day, tomorrow is the future, and tomorrow is going to be possibly absolutely fantastic. So this needs to be seen on a chestnut, on a white, on a black, and do you know what? Yes, a bay, but I think avoid red bays. I think this won't. It could actually look good on a red bay, but I'm not convinced, so I'd be happy to be proven wrong with that one, as I'm not 100% sure it would. But this with a chestnut or or a white would look absolutely stunning, I think. Again, possibly because it's the white binding on this, that's why it's gonna look so rich on a white horse or a chestnut with white points, because I kind of think you want to keep the white with it. With this pad, it's going to be dead easy again to pair other accessories from other brands to it. Here with the dressage, you've got the brushing boots from Pierce of Sweden themselves, and again with the silver emblem, so everything ties in together. The boots are a little bit deeper in colour, but I actually think that really shows you the potential this colour has got to match with other colours and accessories. I wouldn't really put this with a silver, even though the silver's in the binding. I would actually avoid a silver. I would happily put it with a white, but I definitely would avoid a silver, and put this with a deep brown like the Pierce of Sweden boots that I've got here, or like a bronzy brown. I would possibly put that with as well, so then you at least you've got the accessibility of matching it and having quite a combo outfit. But this is going to be one of the ones where you can put quite a lot of colours with it, as is the charcoal and as is the wine. So yeah, so this is definitely my absolute favourite, and well done Pierce of Sweden for a fantastic drop one on your summer collection. I'm really happy with it, and I think most people are going to love walking away with this. So nailed it. So there you have part 1 of the new Pierce of Sweden Summer 2020 collection. Part 2 will be around very, very soon. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to see more. Bye!